Hi guys. Bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. That might hurt my neck to look at you. Of course, the first thing I thought about was a man. A man being that tall. That's my dream. That's my dream. Okay, but this just gonna have to do. Maybe I'll bring the mic a little closer today because I don't really feel like yelling. I'm kind of in a zen vibe. And we're gonna see how that goes throughout this video. Because y'all know me. I can yap. And the only time I press record is when I need to yap. So get ready to listen to me yap. Basically, I don't know how often I said I was gonna do these. I told myself, I don't know if I told you guys, but I told myself, I was like, okay, you know what? When I have a thought, like something that I want to say or talk about or whatever, I'll turn on the camera. So that could be 6 months, that could be a week, a day, whenever it is, okay? And now, your girl has a thought. Can you believe it? She has a thought. She has something to think about. She thought this is something to thought about. Yeah, I have something that I thought about and I want to talk to you guys about it. Basically, it's about being fake. And I think I am very, very good, like amazing at being fake. But I think a lot of people, or most people, like the word fake has such like a negative like connotation. And I've used it in that way too, being like, oh my gosh, she's so fake. Oh my God, like they being so fake, like whatever, you know? I think as I talk about it, like you guys will understand how I view the word fake for me, how I think I'm being fake. And like I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing in this context. Not like, oh my God, girl, what? And then like going over there and being like, ooh, you know, like don't get me wrong. I'm an Indian girl. I love me some gossip too, you know? Not as much as I used to. I'm not really into it like that, but I get it, you know? Sometimes when you're just with your friends, you want to key, whatever. I'm not gonna be yucking someone's yum, being like, oh my God, don't gossip, you know? We all gossip, okay? Like, come on now. Especially as girls, like, actually no, I will say men as well, because if you are in, you guys, let me tell you something. This is a little off topic, but I'm just gonna say it. First of all, I don't have any sisters. I only have a brother. And growing up, I always like, not like navigated, like what's the word? Like, I don't know, I just feel like I get along with guys way more than girls. Like my humor, and I think girls who have brothers will be able to relate to this, or like girls who grew up around boy cousins or brothers or whatever. For me personally, I have always got along with guys way more, like on a friendship level, like completely platonic, like not anything else, but like genuinely like a brother-sister vibe. And when you're the only girl that is in the room with your guy friends and they are talking about like the girls in their life, and after hearing those conversations, girl, I never want to be the one being talked about in the room. Like where was I going with that? Oh yeah, men love to gossip. And girl, go to a barbershop and then let me know what you heard and what you found out, okay? So it's not just the ladies. I want to take that back, because no, the men love the gossip as well. They want to know the tea too. You know, when you give your man some tea, he'll be like, what? I didn't know that, you know? They love it too. Like I said, being fake. I think I am good, very good at being fake. And this is just me personally, okay? Don't come for me. I mean, you can. I don't care. You know, that's the whole point of this. Like, just open discussion, you know? I think being fake goes along with professionalism. And what I mean is, and yes, I do talk with my hands. I'm so sorry if that's bothering you. Let me put my hands down here before I'm just like, girl, you can't believe, like, you know, like that's me. I'm very sorry. I'm very expressive. The best example that I can think of to kind of make someone understand my point of view is like, think about an actor. For them, they could be going through something insane in their personal life, like something like very heartbreaking, heart-wrenching. Someone could have passed away, they could have had a miscarriage, a breakup, financial situations, like there could be so much health issues, like so many things that could be happening in their personal life. And at the end of the day, they still have to get up and do their job. What, you're gonna call off of your job? No, you still have bills to pay, right? So you're still gonna go to your job, and that day you could have to like film like a happy scene or like a funny scene, right? Let's say you're like a comedy actor, like doing something funny, right? Or something happy, something the complete opposite of how you genuinely feel. Obviously, you're not in a room alone. Like I'm here alone with you, but like you're not in a room alone when you're an actor. Behind the camera, there's like hundreds of people just just like literally looking at what you are doing. Everyone is watching you in real life, real time. And as soon as the director says action, you got to get into it, right? And I understand it's like, oh, they're playing a role, right? But in my opinion, I feel like being fake for me is playing a role. Like, I'm not being myself. And in my opinion, if you have perfected your craft, the show can go on and you can be vulnerable when you're alone later on. Like, whenever you get the chance to let it out, you can let it out. But in the moment, you understand, okay, I am here on a mission to do something, and this is what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna deal with whatever I gotta deal with later, but not right now. In my life, I feel like I've gotten really, really, really like dangerously good at putting on this mask or this character or like this version of me that people expect to see, even if I'm not okay. Like, even if I'm going through something in my personal life, and it's because I understand like this is just not the time or place to be vulnerable or to like let my feelings show. Like, this is not the time for that. And I know that sounds so extreme, especially for like a normal girl, like someone who's not in the spotlight. I know that sounds so extreme, but like for me personally, I have never been around people that make me feel comfortable. Like, I've never been around people where it's like, even if I cry in public with them there, I feel safe, or like I can be vulnerable in front of them, or I can tell them what's happening in my personal life. Like, I've never had that. Please keep that in mind. They did not deserve to know about my pain. They did not deserve to hear about my personal life, to know what I was going through, because I always, and maybe this is like a trauma response in a way, but like I've always had me opening up to someone used against me. Like, it's never been this pure, genuine, sweet, wholesome moment. Like, I've never had that. I've always woken up the next day and regretted it, and then like a week later been proven correct that I should have regretted it and I should not have said anything. So there's that. So pretty much like in my experience, being vulnerable in front of the wrong people has only hurt me more. Like, I've never walked out of it feeling like, you know, when people are like, oh, it feels like there's like an elephant sitting on your chest, and then when you finally get to open up, you feel this relief, like you feel better, you feel like you got it out. I don't feel that, because I think for most people, or like for me, I have to feel safe to open up. When I didn't feel safe and I still said it, I regretted it. So then when I didn't feel safe, I stopped saying it so I wouldn't regret it. So then I just never ended up opening up to people. And because of that, like every time I'm around people, I could be going through, think of the most insane thing that someone could be going through. I could be going through that and no one would know. No one would know. Like, I'm genuinely so good. You know how good you have to be at putting on a mask that like when I go through pictures, like I deleted basically all my pictures from my past, but like when I was going through my old pictures and looking at myself, I remembered like what I was going through at that time, and I look at the picture, like a crazy story, right? I went to my friend's graduation party. She's so sweet. You know, this is nothing, has nothing to do with her, but she's so sweet. And I went to her graduation party, and that week was genuinely the worst week of my life. Genuinely. I was going through so much in my personal life, and no joke, like in the car going there, I had to take my makeup with me because crying in the car listening to music. Even if I was listening to trap, I was still crying. Like, I was so sad, and I was going through like the craziest shit of my life. I literally have it tattooed on me. That's how crazy of a situation I was going through. I remember looking back at those pictures from that day, and I was just like, wow, like I'm so good at faking it. Number one, no one knew anything. Like, no one guessed that, like, oh, she, like, are you okay? No one guessed anything. I was so good at it. Keep in mind, this was the worst week of my life pretty much, and no one knew. No one, girl, the mask did not slip at all, okay? And I was looking at the pictures, and I was like, wow, like I'm in these pictures, I'm so happy, I'm smiling, and on the inside I was literally dying. Quite literally, I was dying on the inside. And even people asked me about the person that was involved in the situation, right? Like, oh, you know, where is said person? How are they doing? Whatever, because no one knew. And I'm like answering the questions. I'm like, oh, you know, I don't, you know, like I'm just like going along with the bit. Basically, I'm playing this bit by myself, you know, and I'm just putting on this character, trying to make it seem like it's just a normal day, normal life situation, nothing's happening to me, I'm fine, and on the inside I'm dying. And no one knew. To this day, no one knows how hard that graduation party was for me. Like, genuinely, it was probably the worst like 5-6 hours of my life. Like, actually, because, and not because I didn't enjoy the event, I don't want it to seem like that, but because I was so in my head, and I was like, make sure you have to smile, you have to be happy, like, come on, like, get it together, you know, don't let there be an awkward moment, you know. If I like sensed myself like getting a little awkward with someone because I was like in my thoughts, I would like knock myself out of it. Like, I was literally having this inner monologue with myself while I'm like socializing, while I'm communicating with these people, trying to make it seem like my life is not falling apart. That's my reason for not opening up to like friends. This fear of like, oh my gosh, like me being vulnerable, like this is gonna be used against me someday. So I'm just like not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna bring it up. I'm just gonna keep it cool and play this character and get home and then I'll cry, right? So I put on this character basically and put on this mask. Now with my loved ones, it's a completely different story. The reason why I don't open up to my loved ones easily is because I put their happiness before mine. So what I mean is like, I don't want my sadness to affect them. I don't want my sadness to make them sad. Like nothing makes me more frustrated and more upset at myself than me opening up to my family. And of course they love me, you know, so my sadness makes them sad. I understand that that should also be like this wholesome thing, but for me in my mind, I just feel like such a burden to be like, oh my gosh, like they were having such a great day and I just ruined their whole vibe by telling them like what's making me sad or what I'm going through or how I feel. So it's like this guilt that I have. I just don't want them to feel sad. I don't want them to, like, I don't want my sadness to rub off on them, right? So then I'll tuck my sadness away or tuck my whatever issues that I'm going through away, and I'll just put on this smile, put on this mask, and practically perform for them. And another is because, like, let's say one of my family members opens up to me and tells me like something that made them upset or something that they're going through or, you know, whatever they're feeling, right? Let's say they open up to me and then I'm at the same time I'm also going through something. I will not tell them my issues, like what I'm going through, because it's almost like my attention shifts from my sadness to like, how can I make them feel better? How can I make them happy again? Like I just can't live with myself knowing that someone that I love is upset. So like I will literally try everything on everything to make them happy, like to make them feel better, even if it's for a minute. I don't say what I'm going through because I want to make them happy, because I prioritize their happiness over mine. And I'm not saying this is a good thing, okay? This is why we're talking about this, okay? But like I'll put their happiness before mine, so I don't talk about it, and I try everything I can to make them happy, which can also be very, very toxic, because I think something I have to learn for other people, I know this about myself already, I love them so much that I don't want them to be sad, but like there's also a reason or a path or a life lesson within the sadness, right? Or sometimes you just have to go through it. They just have to deal with it and go through it and learn, and I have to be okay with that, because I understand, or I need to understand, that everyone has their own life path and everyone has their own thing, but I'm admitting it that I do prioritize my loved one's happiness over mine, which is why even in like past relationships, when I did love someone, I always put what they wanted to do or how they wanted things to go over myself. I am so grateful and thankful that my family also knows me just as well as I know them, right? The way that I can fish out their sadness, they know that I do this. They know that like if I haven't opened up in a while, and that's how you know someone truly loves you, when they care enough to like see those things and pay attention to those things. So like my family knows that I don't open up, and it's very hard for me to open up, and I prioritize them and I keep things bottled up. So they will literally check up on me and be like, you know, Diku, how are you doing? Like, what's going on? Like, how are you feeling? Even if I'm feeling great at the moment and I tell them that, regardless of how I answer the question, they will always ask me. They will always check up on me, just in case one of the times that they ask me, I actually am going through something, I actually end up opening up to them. So I'm really thankful and grateful to have loved ones that care. Now on the opposite side of things, a huge downside of me putting on this character and faking my reality is that I confuse my conscience. I confuse my conscience. I think that's how you say it. And the best way that I could describe it is like I just didn't know how I genuinely felt at all. Like I didn't know what my true feelings were because I was so caught up in putting on this character of acting like I was happy. So like I would come home at night after a full day of being outside and social and with people and being like happy and joyful, and then I would come back home and be like, wait, wasn't I just going through something? Like, am I sad? Am I happy? What's going on? How do I genuinely feel about my situation, right? Especially when something makes you sad, but you don't express that it makes you sad. Now I was really confusing my conscience. I was like, okay. And that was so dangerous and so confusing because I didn't know what my reality was anymore. Because the fine line between my real feelings and what I thought people should see from me was just fading more and more as I kept doing it. Like that line of like reality and then my fake reality was just like going out of control. Like I completely lost the plot at that point, and it was really bad. And stress. Oh my god, so much stress. Because my brain would genuinely be going at like 100 miles an hour. Like I was like, think about it, right? Your thought process is your reality and what you're putting on, like this act, and then also being conscious of like what people are seeing and trying to make sure that they are only seeing what you want them to see, and like being fearful, like, okay, did I let it slip for a second? Like all of this going on in my head while I'm trying to remain normal. Can you imagine? Like my goal of not wanting to open up to the wrong people was met. You know, I didn't end up opening up to the wrong people, and I'm so grateful for at least that. I know the consequence and like the effect of it wasn't good, but in the moment, I'm so grateful. I walked out of that situation in my life knowing that no one knows my truth, which is why I started being fake. I don't know, so maybe sometimes being fake is good? I don't know.
Life ain't easy when you young. And we pop out just for fun. Got no stress, yeah, I know that I'm the